knowing what I knew now, if I were like going to fashion school in Paris, these are the things that I would have prepared. Okay, so number one, I would apply for part-time jobs at the same time as my studies, especially in retail, like in any brands, particularly if it's like in the same line of the kind of designer that I want to be. For example, if I want to work for edgier clothing, I would have applied for Margiela stores or something similar. And then why? Because a lot of this companies, especially for internship, they would see your work experience even though you're a student. But especially if you're a master's degree student, they expected you to have at least some relevant experience. So these things, and also it would help a lot with my resume, because if you come here to France, usually the easiest way is to babysit and take care of the children. The only thing I could see negative about that is that you couldn't put it in your resume because it's not really relevant to the kind of jobs that you're applying for later. So I think if I were to go, and also like in any other industry, they're very particular with the kind of work experience that you had. So, it has to be aligned. Okay. Number two, I would have been more updated with the trends, with the news about fashion. Now with TikTok, it's quite easy. Like I can feel that I know a lot more than before because I see it on my For You page. This kind of things. The algorithm shows me things that I'm interested in. Why? Because when I talk to teachers, when I talk to my other schoolmates, one thing we had in common is to talk about the fashion industry and things like that, like especially if you're from a different culture. So if you're quite updated to that, that makes the talking easier. Okay, and then third, I wish I would have made more friends with not just with a certain group, because when you're going to fashion school, you're quite shy. You try to stick with the first friends that you meet. However, you would notice that the skills of your group mates are not the same as with the other group. So it would have been nice to rotate. And I wish the teachers did this, because the teachers just keep letting, okay, you guys group by yourself. But I wish she rotated, because it would have been an interesting discussion if I see different types of personalities together, you know what I mean? And not just anyway, that's just my personal take on this. Third, I came from Shanghai before I went to Paris. And I wish I bought more drawing stuff, because a lot of things here are expensive. So that kind of thing. Of course, we couldn't buy fabrics in advance, right? That would have been nice, because it all depends on your collection, what the teacher requires, this kind of things. But I wish I bought a lot of more materials with me, because that would have been great. Okay, and then yeah, okay, let's say I'm going back to the design school, because I went to a marketing school and a design school as well. So if I had to go to the design school, I would have practiced drawing at least for myself, because I mean, of course I don't know fashion school or fashion illustration back then, but at least it would have been helpful if my strokes were, the hand strokes, if you're used to drawing, you would know what I mean, like, and then you can draw faster. So this kind of things. And also with my sewing and pattern drafting, I don't think you need to know pattern drafting, because anyway, after all, that's why you're going to fashion school, right? But at least, like, my 10-year-old student now, he knows how to do what does he know? He knows how to do a tote bag, he knows how to attach a button, he knows how to do buttonhole, he knows how to do a lot of things, and he's not even going to fashion school. He's just really interested. So I wish I would have well, I guess it also depends, because I was a business student before I took up design. So my interests then were not towards making things, so it's kind of different. Okay, but maybe if I knew I'm going to fashion school, I would have practiced a little bit on those areas, because if you had to learn them first up when you go to fashion school, and then you have all these deadlines, because the thing is, when you go to fashion school, everything is so quick, and like there's a lot of pressure, and there's different subjects to to do, that I feel like there's not really a lot of room to learn. And some of my students will say, "Oh, how can you learn pattern grafting so well?" Na, 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 na. But actually, it took me years to figure that out. It took me years to understand. It took me years to finally get it, and also a lot of years to practice, because okay, I have to do this again and again, and I made so much mistakes. Okay, third, I would have tried out more things and failed more. Okay, that's the main point. You know why? Because actually, as they say, the fashion industry is not really a kind industry. And I think what they mean by that is that a lot of things are very competitive, and then of course we require different standards, and the people are not here to like hold your hand. Okay, come, it's gonna be okay. A lot of us are under pressure as well, so especially as interns, you would experience a lot of, like, let's say, mean people, right? But if you're used to failing, if you're used to hardships, this would be easier for you. This is how I feel. So that kind of thing. And also, I would talk to more adults, how they handle things. Because sometimes, especially when you're young, and then you see these people and they're your boss, I'm like, is this right? Am I supposed? But the youth nowadays are really way smarter than we were, like coming from my background. But I just feel like I would have asked, if I talk to an adult, how would you communicate this? How would you say it better? Something like that. Because before, when I was much younger, my resort reaction would be just to throw up, to walk, throw up, to throw, I don't know, to be angry, to walk away, those kind of things. Anyway, I'm not gonna edit this video. I am so tired of, trying to look perfect on TikTok, so I'm just gonna post whatever I think. So there, anyway, I don't know. So far, I think if you got all those things covered, you would be set for fashion school. Hope this helps. By the way, please ask me a question so I can make more content like this. Bye!